Hope everybody's head's about to explode with all the knowledge they're getting. I know I do. Well, there's a lot of things we could do for our clients, and everybody works in different parts of the business, and everybody don't do Medicare. But everybody knows clients that needs help with Medicare. A lot of them don't know they need help. Because a lot of older people, once they made that decision, they don't want to have to talk about it anymore. Once they already did it at 65 or 64 and a half, they don't think they need to look at it at 68, 70, 75. Yeah. Drug plans, yeah, definitely need to look at that every year, unless you're not taking no medication. Thank you. But we need to learn how to help our clients. And even if you're not wanting to be an expert in it, and y'all talking to clients, if y'all selling them life insurance, y'all see they're getting near age, you know, you might know a good agent in your area. If you don't, we here at Capmar can help you. But giving them just a good knowledge information will help your clients. And the more you help your clients in 3 or 4 different aspects of their business, the more likely they'll be your client for life. You know, I see a lot of agents, especially in the Medicare side, all they care about is going in, helping them with that, and gone. Never check back up with the customer in a year or two. Don't even talk to the customer. And they wonder why 20 or 30% of their business fall off. You know? That is correct. One of the main reasons that happened is Medicare Advantage, during the open enrollment, 4 or 5 different agents will go in there, and some of the old people just like people coming by and seeing them. And they sign up for all 5 of them. So they got real stringent on that too, so that they don't do that. So we need to find ways to help our clients, even if you just give them basic information and get them to somebody else to help them. How many in here does Medicare? Okay, great. Now who's eligible for Medicare? People turning 65 or people. That's correct. That is correct. Very good. That is true. And we have a lot of them that are under 65 that are dual eligibility. I know some people handle that too. Everybody know what dual eligibility means. They get Medicare and Medicaid. And that's sort of, if they're dual, sort of keeps them in the open enrollment all year. So you can help some of them clients even during the off-peak season. So you have some agents that go out and really try to help them during open enrollment. They really should say them on the back burner and say, hey, I'll get with you January, February, you got plenty of time, and go work the ones that needs the help, because if they ain't dual eligible or get ship eligibility, they only can do it October 15th through December the 7th, like everybody knows. Now you have some clients that stay on the group plan, they're still working, right? What should they do? Anybody know? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I actually seen 2 other day that both of them are still working. Their group coverage is so reasonable, and they already talked to HR. They're going to stay on the group plan for another year. and HR has approved it already. So if their co-pays or their bi-weekly pay coming out of that check ain't but $50 and less, they're probably better off staying on that if they got good coverage. If it's over $50 and they have co-pays, I don't know, sometimes you can get pretty close with a med sub and a Medicare and tear that all to pieces. So it's good talking to your clients and finding out what do they have exactly. Don't say, oh, you got group, and go on. I've seen that happen. Everybody knows Part A is only for hospital, right? So what is Part B? Pretty much everything else besides drugs. So do customers or your clients need Part D? Okay. If they don't take it out, it's a 1% penalty of each month they don't have it, correct? All right. Well, good. Y'all very knowledgeable. What's Part C? That is correct. That's correct. Depends on what plan you look at. That is true. People that's on TRICARE or VA or yeah. Actually, they changed it back up again. Yes. Some of them are on TRICARE only getting 50% protection. So they're looking at putting it back on starting October. But especially with VA and they have a drug plan, the VAs, they get their drugs, they don't have to be on a drug plan. They can do the medical only Advantage plans. But in some cases, I've seen why they can have VA and do the drug plan. Certain counties, especially in North Carolina, they don't have a medical only plan that really works for that client. So they can do the both and still keep the VA benefits. Be sure you write it on the application though. And that's what we're talking about. You know, it ain't in all states, and some counties got different plans. I know in Harnett County it ain't but 3 Advantage plans available. In other counties it's 12 to 13. So you have to be careful with that. Know what county is specific, what Advantage plan works for them, okay? Could they keep Medicare only? Do they need a supplement? Do they need an Advantage plan? Yeah, but they still don't have to have it. That's correct. Does everybody pay the same amount for Part B? Everybody know the limits? Okay, good. It should be in one of y'all's handout. It's page 28. Gives you the limits, I believe. That's a good reference to have also, especially if you're dealing with some of the wealth people, or how much that Part B could cost them. Some people even have to pay for Part A. Do y'all realize that? If they never paid into Medicare, and 10-year attendance, they would possibly have to pay $412 for Part A. A lot of people don't realize that. That's in that handout I gave you too, because it's a couple of important things in there that I wanted to make sure y'all had to take with you. Right. Also, I want to point out how can you help. I don't know if everybody's been on the Capmar site. We have a senior portal training. Has 3 or 4 videos on it. It's pretty nice. The login is user. The password is password. Just go in and watch it. It's a YouTube video. It's pretty neat. So just watch them. I go back and watch them every once in a while, even if I get in a lull or something, and just try to make sure I understand what's going on. Or did I do something wrong in my last appointment? Each state has a Pacific Medicare and U-Book. Everybody knows they are, when you order them and get the hard copy. In the very back, they have some of the drug plans listed, some of the Advantage plans listed. But you also can pull it up online. I keep a copy on my laptop when I'm talking to clients. I point out at least the pages that I did hand out to y'all to a client, even if they've been on it 10 years, just to make sure they understand Medicare. Because I run across a lot of people that don't understand how that first page, page 17, even works. And everybody understands Advantage plan. If they go on that, Medicare does not manage it at all. The company that you put them with, if it's Blue Cross, Humana, whoever, United Healthcare, they manage 100% of the Medicare. They get the funding from CMS, and Medicare don't even look at it no more. So, another turn then, at the other side of the page, you get the Medigap, you got 2 people looking out for you. You got the government, CMS, and you have the Medigap company working for you. Everything on that side of the page, though, gets submitted to Medicare. If they accept Medicare, it don't matter what supplement you have, what company it is, it does not matter. Because if it's a Plan F pays, period. If it's a Plan G, as long as they reach that 100 and, what's the deductible, 183 deductible on Part G, then that's covered. I've been doing a few EN plans. The reason why is, they don't have but a $20 copay to the doctor. A lot of people coming off group plan paying that or more copays right now. The 2 copays ain't but to the doctor and to the emergency room. Everything else is just like the G once the 183 is met. So it does have a little bit more limitations on traveling, but 90% of the people I see don't even go out of the United States. So. Everybody that knows how Medigap works and how Advantage works. I just went over it a little bit, but everybody understands how that works. Now, everybody has different Medigap companies that work in their state differently than other states. Doug in South Carolina, I think, what's y'all's top couple companies right now? Is it Transamerica? And yeah, I think Trans is still pretty top, and I think Cigna just came out with another plan and lowered their rates for South Carolina, just like they did in North Carolina. Yeah. You also, on that senior site, has got a quoting tool to see the supplement. All you got to do is put the age and all on the site, and it pulls up the companies right there that Danny represents with the company. Now, we got 1 or 2 contracts that are probably not showing up there that we might get also. So it's also knowing the products that you have, and sometimes just keeping reversed in what to work. Now, I do like the Cigna product, especially if you do it online on the computer, because once they decide they want the med sub, it gives you opportunity to sell that life, additional accidental, cancer, heart, all on that one page before you go in and start putting in an application. If you got your screen turned around, you're showing it to the client. I've sold, just even $5,000 final expense policy, right there with it. It's pretty simple. Boom, one application and you're done. So it's good sometimes to actually show the online application with Signal. And just to let you know, and a couple other companies have that also. I'm just using that because I just used it. That way we know we're always doing the right thing for the clients and for the families, because it was through Arlic. They was on probation. Cigna came back out with a product themselves direct, and it's under, if you go on the quoting tool, I have the mobile app. It'll show Arlic and Cigna. Arlic is about $20, $30 a month higher. Yeah. Right. And it's been real strong since they did that merge, a year ago. They've been real strong in it, so they've done real good at coming out. I put this on the last page, the Medicare.gov site. If you type all that in, you pull up that red, white, and blue book, Medicare and You. You can save it on your laptop if you like. I like printing out these few pages when I'm seeing new clients that are turning 65 and leaving it with them, because I've seen a lot of clients that don't even have that Medicare book yet. And, that way they show that it's coming from the book, and I also print the last page to show them how they can call Medicare and get another book. I didn't do that with here, but it's always on the back of your book. We passed out these two. They're probably in the open page, but it's a trifold. It comes from the Social Security office. It's how to apply online for extra help. That's under what they consider the SHIP. The income is less, but it's more than they can get Medicare, but it still might qualify for getting assistance on the drug plans. It's huge. Right. That's but if you do the online app with them, if you want to help them with that, or do the telephone call to see if they qualify, and if you call them in 2 weeks on that, you eliminate that, because then you can sign them up. Because if they get help with SHIP, you can actually sign them up on a different program. Right. So I've seen that happen when, but also I tell the rep, hey, they're already looking at such and such plan. I got that handled. Let's see if they qualify for this. And a lot of times they won't do it then. Um, Yeah. Yeah, you can actually call the actual manufacturer of that drug also. Um, my parents actually fall in that situation, and it took Dad about 6 months, but he actually ended up getting it waived. He's on insulin, and one of the pens, costs about $600 every month, and it's very expensive. He ended up getting it where only he pays like $25 a month. And it comes straight from the manufacturer. They ship it in from FedEx. Nice ice cooler. It's amazing how it comes in. And yeah, and he's tickled pink because he's saving a bunch of money. But yeah, it's a lot of different ways we can help our seniors out. Just don't say, well, I'm sorry, that's the way the drug plan works. Try to dig in a little bit and ask them what's going on, and get them in the right direction. Or if you do have a few extra seconds, sit down and try to help them out. I find that helping people out, I end up making more money. When I focus on making money, I don't make as much money because then I'm not helping people out. That's always been my theory. I mean, I've gone to houses and just helped them on drug plans. I do a lot of driving to see seniors because I have a lot that don't really get out a lot. And I've been just helping on the drug plans and don't do nothing else. Get down talking about God and everything else and have a great time. I leave more enriched than I did in the amount of money I made. So, and I think if we look at it that way, and I think sometimes we all get caught up, how much I'm making, what is this, what is that? Oh, that ain't worth my time. You never know, you might make a friend for life. And I think what we put in this world, we definitely get back tenfold when we go to heaven. So, any other questions about Medicare? Sorry to get off the wrong subject.
Yesterday, I got a call from our missions all these things from his friends were telling him what to do. I said, can you go help him? Without a doubt, yeah. Personally, I'm happy to have him deal with it, so I don't have to mess with it. That's a resource that you've got available here. Phone call away. I don't know anybody answer. I swear he's on the phone or available 24/7.
Yeah. Or call you back in with 30, 40 minutes.
Take advantage of it.
But if I don't answer, leave a message so I know it's y'all. That way I call you back. I got 20 phone calls just driving in this morning. They're all prank phone calls, I call them. Yeah. So if you leave a message, I call you back. If you don't leave a message, I figure you're one of them people that trying to sell me something.
We're going to take a 15-minute break. Outside fresh air. And then we're going to get is the father of a famous swimmer. Gold medal from the Olympics. His son Charlie was on the 4x200. And he's a world-class swimmer. And we're going to have a conversation.
Okay. Yeah, that's no problem. A lot of mine is really from referrals. I see a lot of seniors that agents go in real quick, try to sell them something, and that's the key. They're trying to sell something instead of help the client. You dig in and really help the client, and they see you're sincere about making sure they understand what they're getting. They understand how the process works. I had one the other day call me, hey, you talked to so-and-so. How can you help me out? I went over what they had. I can't help them until October. But I gave her some information. Like Doug was saying, called this manufacturer on this particular drug since it's not formulary in your drug plan because she did not check it in October. Here it is, May. It's putting her closer to done a hole already. So just giving her that information. She's already told 2 other people. They already called me. That's the biggest key. I get with Andrew and Terry, and they'll pull up a list of people turning 65, and they're real good at keying it in. And I work them 7 to 6 months out. Should be, if you're writing business through us, they will give you access. So, if that answers your question. And one big key on that, when you're knocking on doors from a list, don't go one time. Don't do one phone call. You need to go by 3 or 4 times. So, from my past experience, I work a tight area when I'm knocking on doors. You try to spread yourself out too far, you never get back to that one door that you didn't knock on. That one door that you didn't knock on was the one person that really needed your help. They just didn't know it at the time you left a note or message, but they really need help. But you got to remember, when it goes into the 4th month, the 3rd month, they're getting so much information, mailed to them and all that, that they don't know who to trust. What is this? What is that? Why is that something a little different than this one? So if you get there early enough and they realize it, and then you come back and knock on the door again and left another note, hey, wait a minute, this person might be somebody local. And that's another key. I always try to say, hey, I'm local, I'm here, I'll be here for you. I'll be here in June when you have a question. You know, have any of them ever tried to call that rep back on the phone that bought a med sub and they didn't understand something all of a sudden? I have. They called me and said, hey, that guy won't call me back now. So I think that's the biggest 2 keys right there I work with. And I follow up at least within 24 months on the med sub. Med Advantage, I do it every year. That's the other key. Any other questions? Which you're probably already doing too, right? Yes, sir. Thank y'all very much. Let's take that break like Steve asked us to, and I really enjoyed talking to you.